welcome back to our channel. This is Talk Nutrition with Atieno. You can find us on all the platforms, be it Spotify, be it YouTube, also Instagram and X. Welcome. Today we are diving into an important and often misunderstood topic, that is autism in children. I feel like this is a topic that is very new and it has become very frequent, for lack of a better word. Or how can I put it? Very many children now are experiencing, or rather, they are born autistic. Some come into that situation either through exposure. There's something called virtual autism, but when you do more research on that, you're going to see that the autism is a spectrum disorder. People have it. It's not a condition that you actually suffer from, it's something that you have, and the best you can do as a parent or as a guardian is to help your child manage. So we'll be discussing what autism is, the best foods to support children with autism, and some supplements that might be beneficial. Also, if you find this video or audio helpful, don't forget to share, like, subscribe for more content like this. So let's start with understanding autism. Autism or autism spectrum disorder is a developmental disorder that affects communication, behavior, and social interactions. Each child with autism is unique and may have different strengths and challenges. So now let's talk about the nutrition bit. A balanced diet is crucial for every child, but it's especially important for children with autism. Here are some foods that can support their overall well-being. But before we delve into that, it is also important to know that many autistic kids are picky eaters. Yeah, they choose what they want to eat depending on their sensitivity to their sensory organs. Yeah, that is very crucial for them. So be kind and be gentle to your kids, because they might choose depending on maybe they have food aversions because of how the texture feels in their mouth. There's so many reasons why they can choose to be picky eaters, but all in all, you need to be playful and creative with the food that they eat, so that at least they can get the nutrients that they need to develop, because we don't want to raise deficient kids. It's very important to make sure you have a variety of foods that you can offer to the kids, and also you be creative in terms of how you can incorporate them or modify them to their liking. So autism often goes hand in hand with food aversions. And if you have a picky eater with autism, know that you're not alone. A recent review of scientific studies found that children with autism are 5 times more likely to have mealtime challenges, such as narrow food selections, ritualistic eating behaviors, and meal-related tantrums. So, research is still being done to identify the relationship between the picky eating and autism, but it's important to note that food choices can be addressed by, you should address underlying anxiety, inflexibility, and sensory issues so that you can get the child to eat. And these are some of the strategies you can use to expand the diet of picky eaters with autism. Before now we get into the foods, let me just share with you the strategies. First of all, you should rule out the medical problems. If your child is clumping his or her lips shut when offered a certain food, it may be that she knows it will make her stomach hurt, because most most autistic kids, not all of them, but most, may experience digestive issues, and that will lead to their stomach hurting, and that's why they will just avoid certain foods. So, gastrointestinal distress is common among children with autism, many of whom can't easily describe their distress. So, your child's doctor can help you figure out if this is the case and how to deal with it. It is very important to uh, work hand in hand with with your child's pediatrician and a nutritionist or the dietitian for you to come up with a proper diet for the kid. Another strategy is you're supposed to stay calm. Many children need to taste a food more than a dozen times before they're willing to eat it without a fuss. Children with autism related sensitivities can take longer. Be patient as your child explores and samples new foods. If your child continues to reject a food even after a dozen plus tries, perhaps he just doesn't like it. Consider trying a different food. Yeah, this is very important to note. Don't force food to the kids. They may end up not liking it at all. So try to modify or incorporate ways in which they can be able to eat the particular food, even if it means you have to blend so that you avoid creating a family battleground when it comes to mealtime. Number three, you can take steps toward tasting. Many individuals with autism are afraid to try new things. Help your child explore a new food by looking at it, touching it, and smelling it. When he's ready for a taste, he can try giving the food a kiss or licking it before putting a whole bite into his mouth. Sometimes mixing a new food with a favorite one can help. That's why I was saying it's important to get creative when it comes to such. Then you can tune into textures. That is how you also get creative. Autism often comes with hypersensitivity to textures, so remember that it may be how a food feels in the mouth rather than its flavor that produces a food aversion. The squishiness of a fresh tomato is a classic example. Try chopping or blending such foods to smooth out the offending texture. That tomato, for example, can be chopped into salsa, or you can blend it, or you can cook it into pasta sauce. Then you play with new food. Playing with food is also very important, especially to autistic kids, and this will help to build familiarity and decrease mealtime anxiety. So you can try painting with the pasta sauce that you just made, use veggies to make faces on pizza, use cookie cutters to cut sandwiches into fun shapes, because yeah, it's like they're learning and playing at the same time. So when you're playing, let your child see you taste the food and actually enjoy the food. With that, they're also going to want to taste the food, and they may end up also liking the food. Then, very important point, um, offer your choices, offer food choices and control. Your loved one with autism may need to feel some control over what they put in their mouth, and it's okay to simply not like some foods. That's why we said it's important for you not to force a child to eat a particular food if they don't like. Even if you've tried giving them a couple of times, just let it go. Be patient, be calm, and remember you can always choose another food. Try out a different food. It's okay. You have to be really patient. So you try to offer a broad variety and allow choices within the categories you care about. For example, you might decide that your child needs to have one or more servings of vegetables and one of protein for dinner. So put 5 types of these foods on the table and allow your child to choose at least one vegetable and one protein. I know in most households it might not be a realistic way to live, but what you can do every now and then, you can always choose, have a variety, then at least they can choose from that. Then you also note down what the child likes, so that at least you build from there. a diet for them that is going to be beneficial and sustainable. Then you can also ask your child to add one mystery ingredient for other family members to discover during the meal. Yeah, that's how you get to play with your kids also in when it comes to preparation of meals, so that they can also take part in it and like it. Then the very most important point, which can lead you to a meltdown or you'll be safe. You should be very, very careful with rewards. Most parents or guardians like to reward kids with sweet, sweet things, pastries, things like those, which is not a bad thing. However, in the long run, it is important to reward and reinforce your child's flexibility with food and willingness to try new foods. But blatant bribes can backfire. Your child may eat the food but won't learn to enjoy it or understand why it is important to eat a well balanced diet, which that is the goal. So let dessert and treats be part of meals and snacks, but don't use them as carrots to get your child to eat carrots. So let me give you a classic example. I noticed that some autistic kids can also have ADHD, and that can be very, very bad, especially when you give them sweets at the wrong time. So I would advise you to avoid giving them sweets, especially if it's night time, or maybe you are supposed to go to church or something like that, or maybe they're just supposed to be on a downtime. It's best to avoid such um, sweet snacks, because they increase, or rather rather lead to hyperactivity, and it can cause very serious tantrums or meltdowns. And to be honest, it's not a good show in public when that happens, but if it happens, just remember to be calm, uh, be with your kid, calm them down. It's gonna take some time before that shakes off or wears off, and then from then on, you'll have to now remember to not give them such sweets or pastries. You should note these foods down. It is very important. I'll advise you once again, note the foods that you should avoid giving your kids, and also note the foods that you should give your kids in order for them to get a balanced diet. Finally, we're delving into the foods that you're supposed to give children with autism. Let me repeat, it is very important for you to note down what your kid likes and what they don't like. So, at first, number one, you should give them whole foods, and these are fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, be it from fish, be it from poultry, be it the red meats, which is also really good, and whole grains are essential. They provide necessary vitamins and minerals. Number two, you can give them omega-3 fatty acids. This you'll find from foods like salmon, flax seeds, and walnuts, which support brain health, and this is actually very crucial to their health. Then you can also give them foods rich in probiotics, that is the yogurt, the kefir, and other probiotic rich foods which can help with digestive health, which is a concern for kids with autism. Remember, we mentioned that autistic kids mostly have digestive issues, and it is important to help them with proper foods which are rich in probiotics that will aid them in their digestion. Then you also give them fiber rich foods. Yet again, you'll find this in whole grains, fruits, and vegetables, and this will help with digestion and overall health. In addition to the foods, certain supplements may also be beneficial. However, it is recommended that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting any new supplement regimen. And by a healthcare provider, you can consult with me. I'm a certified nutritionist. You can consult with a dietitian or you can consult with a pediatrician. So here are a few of the commonly recommended supplements. Number one, you can go with a multivitamin so that you can fill any nutritional gaps. I'll also recommend that you go for uh, B vitamins or B vitamins. Those are also very crucial because they deal with the nervous system. They also deal with brain development, and those are very, very, very important. You can also go for the vitamin D. That is important for bone health and immune function. You can go for omega-3 supplements if you are not getting enough omega-3s through the diet. So you can always have a supplement. It is important, it is nice. There are also a variety of them in the market. You can also go for the probiotics to support the gut health, as you mentioned. And you can also go for magnesium, which is very important to help with sleep and relaxation. Remember, I also mentioned earlier that autistic kids tend to be hyperactive and they might struggle with sleep. So it is important to give them magnesium so that they can be able to sleep. And that is also important for parents to create a routine for them so as to sleep at a particular time and also tend to relax. It is also important to note that every child is different. Remember that one autistic kid is not the same as another autistic kid. So what works for one may not work for another, and dietary changes should be personalized and monitored. That's why I insist it is important to work with a dietitian or a nutritionist and a pediatrician all together so that you can provide the best for your kid. If you're a parent or caregiver, it is crucial to observe how certain foods and supplements affect your child and to seek advice from professionals like dietitians and pediatricians. That's all that I had for today. It's been a wonderful almost 20 minutes. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section. And I'd also like to share with you an Amazon link where you can purchase these supplements and also purchase an an autism guidebook, which will help you or give you ideas of the diets and the foods that you can prepare for your little one or your young one. All the best. I'll put it on the description box. Feel free to use it. Remember, every step towards better health counts. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening in. We hope this audio or video has provided you with valuable information on autism, nutrition, and supplements. If you have any questions or topic you'd like us to cover, leave them in the comment section. See you next time. Bye.